Bennington, which ran a 10:23.58, along with Trigo Community at 10:20. Those two teams, probably the two to beat, wouldn't you say, Rod?
Right, and Linden there with a 10:26 as well. It's so unpredictable. The half is such a funny race. It's such a tough race, and if you get yourself crossed up a little bit, if you get a little bit too anxious and try to get out a little bit too fast, the results can be really difficult, especially that last 200 meters. Remember, they're going into the wind down the backstretch, and that is when you're really starting to try to wind up and get ready for a kick. You're trying to stay relaxed, but you're trying to start to pick up the pace and set yourself up for that last 200 meters. And if you got to do that into a strong wind like they're having to do today, that can be difficult.
Looks like Bennington into the early lead. Kaya Johnson, the sophomore, carrying the baton for a Bennington team, but they're very bunched up. Again, out of the stagger on that first turn. Bennington just got themselves in position to take the lead, but they're pretty bunched up here. All time, 9:39.02 in 2015 was run by the Shawnee Maranatha Academy team of Bingham, Manning, Cruz, and Harrell. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, because that was a pretty recent record, I think at least one of those original team members are in this race. But we're in the first of two laps for each competitor in this 4x800 meter relay. And at the 1 lap mark, it's going to be Bennington. Let's go down to Chet Copeland. Chet, we got winners for the first one.
Well, I'm joined by some state champions here. Who am I joined with?
I'm Colleen Smith.
Jenna Duncan.
Frankie Davis.
And Brianna Votes.
So the 1A state champion, 4x8 Olpe. Why don't you guys take us through this race? Who wants it?
Yeah. Well, I'm just really proud of our team, and we didn't do it just for ourselves. We did it for our coach, Kavian, because he's retiring, and we just wanted to go out and do our best.
What's going on in Olpe with the running right now? You guys don't even have a high school track. You have dirt to run around. What's going on there with Kyler True, all you guys? What's going on?
Basically, we run our miles in the country, and then on track days, on sprint days, we run on a dirt track. So it's a lot different than running on a really nice track like this.
Well, it seems to work, guys. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Chet. That's how you get it done, Rod. Running the dirt back in Olpe. What a great comment. But in the small schools, you got to do what you have. And a lot of these teams, they don't have tracks. In fact, a lot of the baseball teams, the smaller divisions, don't have baseball fields at their high schools. You just kind of make it work. You're watching the Class 2A girls 4x800 meter relay race. They've already had a couple of lead exchanges. This has been a pretty good race. And that the first leg run pretty well. 2:28 is actually behind the Hanover girl we saw a little bit ago. But again, about below 2:30. That's a good leg for the 800.
Anything below 2:30 in the high school level here in Kansas is considered pretty good. You would like to get your kids down in the 2:25 range.
I'm going to check the bibs here, see if I can figure out who's in front. This is Elbing Berean Academy, and Cammie Clausen is in front, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, it's Bennington in second, and that is Chloe Stanley. She is the freshman. So those two at the batons at the moment are 1 and 2. In fact, Bennington just took the lead. Chloe Stanley, and might have taken the lead a little early.
Well, there's still 1 lap to go with this. So
she surged. I think she was feeling the Wichita State track, kind of getting the crowd kind of getting her going. But Bennington has the lead for the moment on Elbing Berean Academy. We'll see if that can hold up.
Well, if you're Berean Academy, I think right now I don't want to be running on the line of the first lane between lanes 1 and 2. I want to be just tucking back in and just trying to stay in this fight here. There's still the back stretch to go. They got a pushing wind coming down the front stretch, but you're still going to have to go into that wind. Now the wind is out of the northeast, which is not quite so bad. We have that big grandstand right there where that kind of just blocks things a little bit, but it is still tough sailing.
I just looked through the times through the year. Bennington ran a 9:56.29 of the Heart America Conference Championship, and that is definitely a time worth noting. So they're below 10 minutes. Their time in the prelims was 10:23.58. Which is a 20-second difference. And if you're a kind of a guy that keeps numbers and stats, that's a pretty huge difference. But you can't take the pedal off the metal. I'm sure they weren't as challenged coming in here, but in the regionals, and you don't know the weather. But that's a big difference between an all-time best and just a qualifying time.
We've talked about this. The weather has been so atrocious this spring that these times can be a little bit deceiving. We are looking at even though it's a little windy, it is certainly a lot warmer. As you see Stanley start to pull away a little bit, trying to get a little distance between her and Berean Academy.
Third leg is coming. Karis Hilbert is the scheduled baton holder for Bennington in the third leg. And they're right at about 2:30. So two good legs run from Bennington's Kaya Johnson and Chloe Stanley. I'll get a check of who's holding what baton. Allison Topham we just saw, so she's the third leg for Berean Academy. So Berean Academy and Bennington, and here in the third leg, boy, the pace picks up a little bit. Karis Hilbert.
Well, watch Allison Topham and Brooke Wiebe if Berean Academy wants to get back in this fight, although right now it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But those two certainly can bring it. But right now it is Bennington who is just pulling away.
So Bennington in the lead. Berean Academy is well behind her. In fact, the lead is so great for Bennington at the moment that the second place team at the moment is not even in the picture. That's how big the lead is. But Kara Hilbert, who's running this third leg here, has a long way to go. This is a long leg. Sometimes you're concerned as a track coach whether your baton holders with a lead like that maybe took a little bit too much out of her. But second place continues to be Berean Academy, and that was established, Rod, from the very get-go. That's how it's been since the stagger.
No,
not much change at all.
No, not much change. Nice stride, good and steady. Hands up a little bit with the baton, but still looking really good. Looks like it's going to be about another 2:30 leg.
They're right on pace to that 2:30 mark.
But Hilbert looking very strong, just a junior. At this stride, you go into the wind, you just want to make yourself as skinny as possible. Do not try to fight the wind. You don't want to try to have to overdrive through it. You just want to stay as relaxed and smooth as possible to where you can get to that last 200 meters and start to really drive for the finish.
Yeah, I'm looking at our sound mic right outside our booth window. The wind's picking up a little bit. So did you see Bennington's Carla Hilbert, excuse me. I feel like she slowed down just a little bit.
Yeah, you look at Hilbert, she's really starting to labor now. That wind really kind of knocked her down. She is starting to fight it a little. Her head is starting to get up. You see the chin starting to rise a little bit. You like to try to keep it down a little, especially when you're driving towards the finish. Stay smooth and look out, because here comes Topham. Topham has been one of the best distance runners in the smaller classes in Class 2A for a long time, and it looks like she is going to take over this race.
We have a new leader. Berean Academy is on top of Bennington at the moment. Allison Topham comes from about 30 meters behind a fast-running Karis Hilbert. Hilbert ran into a bit of a wall, and Allison Topham has taken over here in the girls' 4x800 meter relay in Class 2A. Topham will hand off to Brooke Wiebe. Wiebe, the freshman, and it'll be a freshman against junior Hallie Johnson as Berean Academy will try to hold off Bennington here. But right now, Bennington's Hallie Johnson already has made up a little ground.
Well, watch Johnson. Look at that. She is really pumping. She is almost in the full sprint trying to get back into this fight. Brooke Wiebe, a long line of great family, the Wiebes who have run at Berean Academy, along with the Tophams. And Wiebe just staying really smooth. We'll see how much energy Bennington is having to use to try to get back in this fight. You see her, she is really on her toes, trying to catch back up and get back in this.
This is lap number 7 of 8 for the 4x800 meter relay in Class 2A. Bennington and Berean Academy, B and B, have battled against one another from the start, and now Brooke Wiebe and Hallie Johnson. With 1 lap to go, we have a new leader. Bennington takes the lead back. Hallie Johnson has the lead. Bennington will take the lead on the bell lap with 1 lap to go, but do not count out Brooke Wiebe. It looks like she might have a little strength left if she can catch the leader. But Bennington has the lead.
We'll see how much energy Hallie Johnson expended, but she is starting to pull away and looking very, very strong. We saw this in the last leg, and then saw the runner falter a little bit, but Johnson looking really, really strong.
And Johnson, in fact, has not only taken the lead, she has extended the lead as she heads into the wind on the back stretch. You're taking a look from the north side of the track here at Cessna Stadium. The relay teams will run into that wind, take the turn, and get the wind to their back as they go to the finish line. But as we saw the earlier leg, the wind had picked up a little bit. It was a factor. Right now, Hallie Johnson running strong.
Ellen Wiebe trying to get back in this. She is closing the gap just a few meters, but it is not enough right now. Really swinging her arms, trying to get herself up towards the front if she can, but it looks like that Bennington is going to hang on and win this.
Johnson, 100 meters to go in the girls 4x800 meter relay, trying to add a gold to the trophy cabinet for a prestigious Bennington track and field team. And Hallie Johnson striding out here. In fact, almost a smile on her face as she gets to the finish line. And Bennington has won gold in the girls 4x800 meter relay in Class 2A. Give Bennington the gold medal, and Berean Academy trying to finish here in second. And take a look at the charge here.
Well, there's Topham. I really thought she was going to be able to get Berean Academy up to the front as a tremendous finish, but it was just not to be. What a great leg there for Bennington in their anchor. Just great arm swing, able to just pull away there as they come down to the bell lap right here, and Bennington takes control from there for the win.
Hallie Johnson anchored Bennington to the win. Finishing in second is L-Beam Berean Academy, and winning bronze, Trigo Community.